Did you know that your breakfast cereal could be silently sabotaging your manhood? That what you think is a healthy snack might be quietly draining your energy, your confidence, and even your intimacy? Most men never see it coming, but the truth is, there are hidden landmines in your everyday diet. Foods that can shoot your blood sugar through the roof and, without warning, shut down your testosterone, damage your prostate, and lead to silent impotence. And here's the kicker. Some of the worst offenders are foods you've been told are healthy. How is that possible? Why are more men struggling with energy, performance, and even fertility than ever before? Could the answer be sitting on your plate right now? Keep watching, because in this video, we're not just naming the 10 foods that could be wrecking your hormones and stealing your manhood. We're going deep into what they do inside your body and why removing just a few of them could change your life in less than a week. We're exposing what the labels never tell you and revealing the everyday triggers of blood sugar spikes that the food industry doesn't want you to know about. This could be the most important health video you've ever seen, especially if you care about staying sharp, strong, and fully capable well into your later years. So hit that subscribe button because you're about to take control of your health in a way that actually works. Let's start with something almost every American has in their kitchen right now: white bread. It's soft, convenient, and usually marketed as part of a balanced breakfast. But the moment you chew it, it begins a biochemical betrayal. Why? Because it turns into sugar faster than actual table sugar. White bread is made from refined grains that have been stripped of fiber and nutrients, leaving behind a carbohydrate bomb that sends your blood sugar soaring. Within minutes of eating it, your insulin shoots up, and when insulin is high, your testosterone starts to drop. Now think about that. Testosterone isn't just about libido. It's about energy, focus, strength, confidence, your edge. And blood sugar spikes from refined carbs are one of the fastest ways to crush it. But it doesn't stop there. Constant spikes in blood sugar also trigger chronic inflammation, the silent enemy of the prostate. And when inflammation targets the prostate, it can slowly swell, press on the bladder, disrupt your sleep with late-night bathroom trips, and even interfere with your ability to perform. But what if you've already switched to wheat bread, thinking that's the healthier option? Well, here's the shocker. Wheat bread has almost the exact same glycemic index as white bread. That means your blood sugar still spikes, your insulin still rises, and the hormonal damage continues, just with a browner color and a slightly better label. This is why so many men feel tired after lunch, struggle to concentrate mid-afternoon, or feel like their get-up-and-go just left the building. Now, you might be thinking, okay, I'll just go gluten-free. That's a great instinct, but it leads many men straight into another trap: gluten-free processed snacks. These often swap out wheat for rice flour, cornstarch, or potato starch, all of which spike blood sugar just as fast, sometimes even faster. Your body doesn't care that the label says gluten-free. It only cares about the sugar surge, the inflammation, and the hormonal crash that follows. And guess what? Sugar isn't always sweet. Sometimes it hides in plain sight, like in low-fat flavored yogurt. You might reach for it thinking you're making a smart, protein-packed choice. But most flavored yogurts have more sugar than a donut. That's not breakfast. That's dessert disguised as health food. And that sugar doesn't just feed your sweet tooth, it feeds insulin resistance. Over time, this resistance dulls your body's ability to regulate blood sugar, pushing you closer to prediabetes, then diabetes, and along the way, stealing your drive, shrinking your energy, and weakening your ability to perform when it matters most. Let's pause for a second. Have you ever noticed how you feel right after eating something sweet? That quick burst of energy, followed by a crash that leaves you feeling slower, foggier, or maybe just less like yourself? That's not just your imagination. That's your hormones swinging wildly. And when that happens over and over again, your body gets tired of the roller coaster. It adapts, but not in your favor. It adapts by dulling your sensitivity to insulin, decreasing your testosterone, increasing estrogen, and slowly shifting your metabolism toward fat storage and away from muscle. Here's where things get even worse. These changes don't just mess with your energy, they affect your vascular health too. High blood sugar damages the delicate lining of your blood vessels, including the tiny arteries responsible for blood flow where you most need it. That's how food, yes, food, can be the hidden cause behind problems in the bedroom. And let's talk about beverages. because what you drink can do just as much damage as what you eat. The number one culprit? Fruit juice. That healthy glass of orange juice in the morning can have the same effect on your blood sugar as a can of soda. Why? Because when you strip away the fiber from fruit, you're left with pure liquid sugar. And fructose, the type of sugar found in fruit juice, is metabolized almost entirely in the liver, where it behaves eerily similar to alcohol. It turns into fat, promotes insulin resistance, and contributes directly to fatty liver disease. A fatty liver doesn't just slow down your metabolism, it interferes with hormone detoxification. That means excess estrogen, reduced testosterone, and a higher risk of prostate inflammation, all from the same juice you thought was good for your heart. Now here's a surprising twist. Even healthy energy bars can be silent saboteurs. Packed with oats, honey, dried fruit, and chocolate chips, they might seem like a smarter choice than candy. But inside, they're metabolic grenades. Most bars combine fast carbs with seed oils, those highly inflammatory fats that are linked to insulin resistance, oxidative stress, and low-grade inflammation. That inflammation doesn't just affect your arteries, it can inflame the prostate too, increasing your risk of discomfort, frequent urination, and even more serious issues down the road. Here's a question for you. How often do you really look at the label before you eat something? And even when you do you understand what you're seeing? The food industry knows how to trick you. They'll label something whole grain, heart healthy, low fat, or gluten-free, but behind those claims often hides a formula designed to keep you hooked and keep your insulin spiking. That's because sugar isn't just a sweetener anymore. It's a strategy, a formula, a tool used to trigger dopamine in your brain so you keep coming back for more. And this has a direct consequence on your hormones. Men who consume high glycemic foods regularly, foods that spike blood sugar, have been shown in multiple studies to have lower total and free testosterone. At the same time, their estrogen levels begin to creep up. Why does this matter? Because that shift in your hormone balance is what can start to cause belly fat, brain fog, mood swings, and a slow but steady decline in sexual function. So if you've been wondering why you're tired all the time, why your workouts don't feel the same, why your confidence or performance has taken a hit, the problem may not be age. It might be sugar, hidden sugar, blood sugar spikes caused by what you thought were innocent foods. Think about cereal. It's marketed to kids, but men eat it too, often late at night, thinking it's a light snack. But just one bowl of corn flakes or Raisin Bran can have over 40 grams of carbohydrates, most of which break down into glucose almost instantly. That's a sugar bomb. Your insulin spikes, your testosterone drops, your blood vessels take a hit, and your body starts storing fat like it's bracing for a famine. It's not about avoiding all carbs. It's about avoiding the ones that hijack your metabolism and keep your body in a constant state of inflammation and imbalance. That's the real issue. It's not willpower, it's biochemistry. Your body isn't broken. It's responding exactly how it was designed to, just to the wrong inputs. Now, if you're starting to see the pattern here, and you're wondering what the other foods are that could be messing with your blood sugar and causing silent hormonal damage, you'll definitely want to keep watching, because what we're about to reveal next will connect the dots even further and give you the power to change everything, starting with your next meal. Sometimes, all that stands between you and the health you desire is a decision. And no, we're not talking about extreme diets, expensive medications, or surgeries. We're talking about a natural and proven solution that has already transformed the routines of thousands of people, restoring well-being, energy, and tranquility. It's accessible, it works, and it's in the pinned comment. But it only works for those who take action. Are you going to continue suffering, or are you going to click and change that today? And here's where it really hits home, because the next food on our radar is something millions of men consume every single morning, believing it's fueling their day. I'm talking about flavored coffee creamers. That hazelnut, caramel, or vanilla swirl might seem harmless. It's just a splash, right? But take a closer look at the label. You'll often find high fructose corn syrup, hydrogenated oils, artificial flavors, and thickening agents. What does that mean for your body? It means a rapid blood sugar spike from the hidden sugars, followed by a hormone destabilizing dip, and a slow flood of inflammation from the oxidized seed oils. These oils, like soybean, canola, and corn oil, are among the most harmful substances for your metabolism. They damage your cells from the inside out, interfere with fat burning, and promote insulin resistance, which we already know is one of the biggest threats to testosterone and prostate health. But here's the kicker. Those tiny amounts of toxins, day after day, meal after meal, start to accumulate. The body's natural detox systems get overwhelmed, your liver slows down, your gut gets inflamed, your hormone detoxification pathways clog up. And when testosterone isn't cleared properly, or when estrogen isn't balanced, it begins a quiet hormonal drift. Not a sudden drop, but a slow fade. Your energy dips. Your drive falters. Your erections aren't quite what they used to be, and you still don't know why. You just think you're aging. But the truth is, it's not time that's changing you. It's food. More specifically, foods that trigger chronic insulin responses, subtle inflammation, and hormonal imbalances every single day. Now, let's talk about breakfast cereals marketed as heart healthy, brands that boast whole grains, low fat, and added vitamins. But what they're not telling you is that the heart healthy label doesn't account for how fast these cereals raise your blood sugar. Corn flakes, rice puffs, bran flakes, these might look harmless, but on the glycemic index, they're right up there with white bread. That means they hit your bloodstream like a freight train. And your body? It reacts the same way it does to candy, with a surge of insulin, followed by inflammation and eventual fatigue. Even if you eat something seemingly healthy like oatmeal, if it's the quick cooking or instant variety, you're still getting a highly processed starch that absorbs fast and burns out faster. Without enough fat or protein to slow it down, it acts like sugar. And that means your testosterone suffers, your metabolism stalls, and the prostate starts to pay the price. Slowly, silently. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you felt completely in control of your energy? Woke up feeling clear-headed, alert, focused, motivated? Without the help of caffeine, sugar, or a nap? If it's been a while, it's time to start asking deeper questions about your food, because your body isn't designed to crash every afternoon. It's not supposed to feel sluggish, inflamed, or heavy. That's not aging. That's a warning light, a signal that something you're eating is turning your own biology against you. And that brings us to another quiet offender, alcohol. Now we all know drinking too much isn't good, but even moderate consumption can quietly erode your testosterone, spike your blood sugar, and damage your liver. And your liver is ground zero for hormone balance. It helps metabolize estrogen and detox excess hormones. When it's overworked, trying to process sugar, alcohol, seed oils, and toxins from processed food, everything gets backed up. Estrogen starts to build, testosterone starts to drop, and once again, your energy, your metabolism, and your libido all suffer. The most dangerous part? It doesn't feel like a crash. It just feels like a slow fade. You don't wake up one day and feel like half the man you were. It happens gradually. Your waistline expands. Your motivation wanes. Your interest in intimacy diminishes, and you start to accept it as normal, but it's not. It's reversible. And the first step is food. Let's take a look at energy drinks. Men often turn to them to get through the day, especially when stress or lack of sleep creeps in. But those cans, packed with sugar, caffeine, synthetic B vitamins, and artificial sweeteners, are a ticking time bomb for your metabolism. The sugar rush sends your insulin soaring. The caffeine triggers cortisol, your stress hormone. And the additives push your liver and kidneys into overdrive. You may feel a jolt at first, but it comes at a price. Over time, your body gets depleted. You build tolerance. And soon, you're stuck in a cycle of chasing energy you should have naturally. And what about diet sodas? 0 calories, right? No sugar, right? Unfortunately, your body can't be fooled so easily. Artificial sweeteners like aspartame and sucralose still trigger an insulin response in some people. Yes, even without real sugar. Worse, they alter your gut microbiome. And when your gut bacteria get out of balance, it affects everything from digestion to immunity to hormone regulation. Your gut is one of your main hormone signaling centers. When it's inflamed or disrupted, testosterone production drops, cortisol rises, and your brain fog sets in. It's not just what you eat, it's what your food tells your body to do. Now let's talk about fried foods. Crispy, golden, comforting. But behind that crunch lies a metabolic nightmare. Fried foods are usually cooked in reused, highly oxidized seed oils. Again, things like soybean oil, corn oil, Cottonseed oil. These oils are unstable at high heat and form toxic compounds called aldehydes, which contribute to oxidative stress. That stress damages your cells, inflames your arteries, and accelerates aging. Not only that, but fried foods are calorie-dense, nutrient-poor, and often combined with refined carbs like batter or breadcrumbs, creating a perfect storm of insulin spikes and hormonal disruption. And remember what we said earlier, blood sugar spikes lead to blood sugar crashes. Every crash sends a signal to your brain that you're low on energy, even when you're not. That craving you feel an hour after a fast food meal, that's your blood sugar in free fall, dragging your energy and your testosterone with it. Now here's one most people never suspect. Dried fruits. Yep, those little bags of raisins, dates, or dried mango slices can seem like a smart, natural snack. But once you remove the water from fruit, you concentrate the sugar, and you remove the fiber that slows down absorption. That means a small handful of dried fruit can have more sugar than a candy bar. And because it's fruit, we assume it's harmless. But if you're already insulin resistant, if you already have creeping fatigue, stubborn fat, or signs of low testosterone, dried fruit is gasoline on the fire. What's worse, fructose, the kind of sugar in fruit, goes straight to the liver, just like alcohol. It's the most lipogenic sugar, meaning it's the most efficient at turning into fat. And when that fat accumulates in the liver, it leads to non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, something over 25% of American adults already have, often without knowing it. And a fatty liver, once again, means poor hormone balance, sluggish detoxification, and higher risk of erectile dysfunction. So let me ask you this. How many of these foods are on your daily or weekly menu? Because when you add them up, refined grains, sugar-laced drinks, processed snacks, fried foods, alcohol, seed oils, and even so-called health foods like yogurt, granola bars, or dried fruit, you get a daily cocktail of blood sugar spikes, insulin surges, inflammatory hits, and hormonal interference. Over time, this creates a perfect storm for low testosterone, metabolic dysfunction, poor circulation, and yes, sexual performance issues. But here's the good news. The human body is incredibly resilient. Remove the triggers, and it starts healing. Restore insulin sensitivity, and testosterone rises. Clean up your diet, and your energy returns. Inflammation fades. The fog lifts. Your drive comes back. And the best part? These changes don't take years. Many men report feeling better within just a few days of cutting out these blood sugar bombs. So if you've ever felt like something was off, like you weren't quite yourself, like your body was working against you instead of with you, now you know why. The food you eat every day either fuels your masculinity or slowly drains it. Now that you know what to avoid, the next step is to rebuild with foods that nourish your hormones, support your prostate, and protect your vitality. And that's exactly what we cover in the next video on your screen right now. Go ahead and tap it. Your energy, your confidence, and your health depend on it.